Hello, welcome to my hike. I'm Kevin. Thank you for joining. Today is going to be a fantastic hike, and I'll tell you why. It is so pretty here, but the only downside is we're hiking directly beneath the flight path into Burbank Airport. So, you know, we're going to be hearing a lot of that stuff. But, you know, on the same hand, they are flying directly over our hiking path. So they're going to be hearing a lot of hiking too. So eye for an eye, I guess, huh? Touche. Right, already, let's do this. Strap on your seatbelts, put away that tray table, and why don't we go take a hike? Filling the void off my shoulder on the left is an actor I think you'll recognize. We first saw him on Saved by the Bell. We're not going to talk about that. We also know him as Cyclops and X-Men. Whole bunch of stuff. Westworld. Love that series. And most recently, as himself on Jury Duty. Yes. Today we are hiking with the incomparable James Marsden.
So you wanted to take the easy, non-strenuous hike, huh?
Well, we'll go a little bit further. If it doesn't flatten out, we'll send in the choppers.
I'll just...
yeah, no, this is not good.
Getting our steps in.
This is not good at all.
Well,
right around this corner.
It's good for our buttocks. It'll be good for our buttocks.
Man, I'm trying to get the six-pack in the glutes.
Yeah?
But it's hard. It's hard.
I find it so easy.
Really? You got six-packs? Where's your most unusual six-pack?
Am I?
Somebody say, really?
I have a six-pack on my ass, but there's 3 on each cheek.
Okay, so it's a split six.
You gotta, it's a split six.
I got you. I gotta tell you, I just loved Westworld.
Okay, thank you.
You okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
And I just, you know, the whole premise of it, the first season, especially, you coming in on the horse, right, seeing the same girl.
Yeah.
And couldn't they just film that once, or did you have to film it each time?
You have to film it each time.
Really?
Yeah. You think you could. It was a cool show to be a part of.
Yeah, that was so good, man. And
that's great.
Did you have to learn how to ride a horse for that?
I did. And the funny thing about that was they weren't allowed to, when they were teaching us how to ride. I rode a little growing up in Oklahoma, not to any degree where I got very good at it, but so they were nervous about any of the actors getting on the horses. So when we were learning, we were walking. We weren't allowed to take the horses over a walk with bicycle helmets on on the back lot of Melody Ranch. And of course, if you can imagine, it doesn't really prepare you for riding a horse when they ask you to, when the cameras start rolling.
Right.
And when the cameras roll, the director's, okay, we want you to come flying over this vista, full speed, pull up here, jump off your horse and give the girl a kiss. It's like, you know, you're just, so just most of the bits you see of us riding horses, we're just sort of terrified. Anytime you see us riding really fast, it's, with the exception of me, it's everyone else's stunt double.
James, you into manscaping?
Into manscaping?
Yeah, you like manscaping?
Not really.
You never done that?
Certain areas, yes.
Like the nose and...
I like the nose, the ears, the eyebrows,
yeah,
the armpits.
Oh, you do the armpits?
No, I don't. You
have somebody else do it?
I have someone else do it. I feel like that's something you can get, you can go a little too crazy with.
You know, it's true. Once you start, you completely finish your body, and then you want to do other people's bodies.
Other people's bodies.
Do you guys celebrate Christmas?
We do.
And is it really like crazy big celebration with a tree and all the ornaments?
That's our big, that's our biggest holiday we celebrate.
And do you have other family members that come?
No, just me.
It's just you alone?
It's me.
That is big.
You?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. As a kid, I used to do it bigger, you know. Now, and then the trees got smaller and smaller and faker and faker, you know. Now it's just like just old cell phone tower that we use now. Doesn't even look like a Christmas tree, but good reception, man. Good reception. Do you get therapy ever?
I go to therapy, yeah.
You too? What's wrong with you?
That was a test. Fuck no, yeah. I don't go to therapy. I'm from Oklahoma. You just muscle your way through that stuff.
What was the last injury you had?
Last injury?
Yeah.
someone didn't recognize me.
That hurt a lot,
didn't
didn't
it?
Very
busy part of town, and my ego was hurt.
So you're doing the show Jury Duty,
Yeah.
and it was just a surprise. I mean, it was a surprise hit, runaway. Nobody heard about it, and that's one of those shows where you know it's good because it's word of mouth.
That's it. I honestly didn't anticipate anyone. I didn't know what Amazon Freevee was. They're coming out with a new platform. I thought maybe 3-4 people would see it. But also, like the conceit of the show is like, how do we get this guy to the finish line and not leave him with paranoia and mental issues? But
he seemed like he was pretty well rounded.
No, he was perfect. The show works because of that guy. I mean, it actually. The comedy was always there. Great scripts, no real scripted dialogue, but just scripted comedy beats to push.
Yeah, but you were put in there because people knew that he would recognize you, and you were the movie star.
Right.
Coming in.
Yeah, I was the guy who was like mildly recognizable,
but a big ego.
but big enough that yes. He'd eventually find something that he'd seen of mine.
Yeah.
But and then yes, to play the Hollywood entitled.
That must have been fun to play.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
Or maybe you weren't playing it. Maybe it was.
It's a version of me.
Did you ever worry that maybe you might say something that would tip him?
Always. I mean, every day you're worried that it's just like such a high wire act. One screw up, the whole thing's done, and then Amazon has 2 weeks of footage that they can't use.
I like the guy that gets up and he taps his shoulder. He's like, I'm gonna go rub one out.
Right, the one line. Yeah. It was all by design. One line.
I'm gonna go rub one out.
Yeah. And that was meant to be the only exchange that Ronald had with that guy, while everyone else has these amazing stories.
Yeah. They were great stories too, all improvised, right?
Yeah, most of them. I mean, the writers that don't get enough credit on this because there were scripted moments that were pretty dialed in without actually writing out the lines. There was like the line with have you ever served on a jury before? And I say Cannes Film Festival. that was actually Lee Eisenberg and Gene Stupnitsky argue over whose line that was. But
right.
But that was Marsden gets up and tries to get out of jury duty by saying he's a distraction and he's served on a jury at a film festival. And then you kind of get to just play with it and make it your own.
I love that, man. I see some of these shows that are so great, and the characters always go, yeah, this thing just landed on my lap, man. I was handed this.
It's kind of, I mean, I can't, I gotta admit that's kind of been the case with this show. Throughout, you're thinking, is this even gonna work? I mean, is it gonna be, they told me they wanted to create a hero's journey for this guy. And then you start thinking, well, if this gets too saccharine, then the comedy's going to be a bit muted because of it. It's going to be an either or. If the comedy works, it's going to be mean-spirited. So we've managed to figure out a way to just kind of balance the both, but I did not think it was going to work.
Did you feel bad afterwards for the guy because you guys had duped him the whole time?
Oh, I mean, yeah, you have to feel a little bad for him, but I made sure, and all the cast and producers and everybody were like, he needs to know that this was all fake, but we actually created some pretty good relationships and friendships with him, and everybody fell in love with the guy.
Yeah, he seemed like a nice guy.
Great guy. So I just wanted to make sure he knew that, we'll be pals after the show.
But don't get too close.
But don't get too close. Fake pals, Hollywood pals.
Yeah. You have any tattoos?
No tattoos.
You thinking about one?
No. I promised my son, when he turned 18, I'd get one with him, and I backed out of that.
Because you didn't get drunk enough?
I just changed my mind. I mean, he's my son and everything. We were going to have a nice father-son moment, and I just decided against it.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it.
It happened.
Didn't love him enough. Do you have a tattoo?
No, but
we come from that generation that no tattoos.
I'm thinking about getting one, though.
You are?
But not on me.
Okay.
I want to put it on somebody else.
Sure.
How old are your kids?
Kids are old, 22.
Are you serious?
Yeah, 22-year-old, 17-year-old.
So you knocked somebody up in high school?
No, actually, when I was 12.
That's crazy, man.
When I was 12, before middle school.
I was driving over thinking, I bet James is a bachelor, and he's just like, he's got some crazy sports car, he's just living that Hollywood.
Sure,
not to say you're not, but I mean, are you good in an argument?
Yeah.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
What's your strategy?
Just don't give up.
Just like loudness.
Just tunnel vision.
Tunnel vision.
Only see your point. That's it.
Don't even listen to anybody else.
No. But use the word "but" quite a bit.
Yeah, but also works.
But you did this wrong.
And if you're arguing with somebody who's very sophisticated, instead of "but," you say "however."
However. That said.
That said.
A lot of that said.
To your point.
To your point.
To your point.
To your point.
Did I hear that you were on Bear Grylls show?
Yes, you did.
Man, I never would have asked you to come on this hike if I knew that.
Oh, well, you're with someone you're in good hands.
I don't like people that have trained for my hike. You know what I'm saying?
Life has trained me for your hike.
Yeah. So what happened? I watch that show all the time.
It was wild.
Man. And I think, why would anybody put themselves through that? Well, tell me why.
I don't know. I just said, I thought, I'm never going to have this opportunity again.
Well, first of all, Bear Grylls is a show where he's a survivalist, he's an outdoorsman,
he knows English military.
Yep. He knows which rocks you can eat and which you can't eat.
Right.
You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, running wild with Bear Grylls. You get he takes a celebrity out. You survive for a couple of days. You always eat something a little strange.
Yeah.
He has you facing whatever fear. Mine was heights.
Me too, man.
Yeah. We took a helicopter and landed on a 150-foot arch. He made me learn how to tie a knot. So in 5 minutes, I had to learn how to tie this knot. And he goes, okay, we got to get down. You're going off this edge. I'm going off this edge. Show me the knot I taught you how to tie. I tied our ropes together. And he goes, okay, we're now going to counterbalance each other. I said, with the knot that I just learned how to tie. So it just really psychologically gets to you. But yeah, what do we eat? We found a chuckwalla lizard. Had to eat some good eating.
Do you think any celebrity said, I can't do this anymore, I want to go home?
I'm sure. I almost did that. I did. Swear to God.
I'm so afraid of heights too, man.
We got to the third bit. There's like 3 feats you have to do. One was the helicopter and the counterbalance rappel down.
Yeah.
Then we had it was in Utah, 300-foot cliff. And I was like, and I don't know, you know, he purposely doesn't show you how to rappel. So you don't really know how to do it.
And he shows up like standing on the rung of the helicopter, right?
Yeah, exactly, like an action star.
But after it was over, I bet you felt elated.
Oh, it was great. I'm so happy I told my friends who, like, Courtney Cox is a pal of mine.
Oh,
she goes, I got invited to go. Should I do it? I said, absolutely. She goes to Ireland or Scotland or something. She went, and it was freezing cold and rainy, and she had to rappel down this seaside cliff and eat like lamb testicles or something. And to this day, I'm like, aren't you glad you did that? She's like, fuck no. No, absolutely not. Anyway, yeah, I'm very happy I did that show.
Oh, I'm sure, man.
We get stuck out here in the Hollywood Hills. We will survive.
Wow, good for you.
When you ever see a mountain lion, just run.
Bear Grylls teach you that?
Yeah.
You ever run a marathon?
Half marathon.
Couldn't finish?
What a dick.
Thank you, James Marsden. Wow. A Bear Grylls survivor. And here he is on my hike, barely able to catch his breath. Just goes to show you. You wouldn't catch me dead on a Bear Grylls hike. Although maybe you would catch me dead there. Not for me, man. I only eat processed foods that are wrapped in cellophane. I'm sure celebrities have dropped out of Bear Grylls show halfway through. I mean, they just give up. I mean, sometimes people don't even show up to my hike. So what's that all about? But I thank you guys for showing up. If you enjoyed my hike, please subscribe, turn on notifications, share, like, comment, spread rumors, talk about it, whatever you want to do. And we'll catch you on the next Switchback. Happy trails.